Hey Poke Trainers, welcome to Pokemon Go 101 version 1. By version 1 I mean this is going to be probably one of many videos explaining the game because it is still in its early phases and there are a lot of server issues and glitches and stuff that they're probably going to fix, so I'm going to update this constantly. So be sure to leave in the comments below anything that I've missed because I'm not perfect. Now Professor Willow is our guide in this game, but he gave us little to no guidance in this game. Here's some Pokeballs. Good luck. That's a Pokestop. Nah. You can check out what he's given you by just clicking settings and going to quick start, and then you can listen to him for a whole 2 minutes on things that you probably can pick up on your own. You can go to PokemonGo.com and you can check out about a paragraph worth of each feature. Or you can watch me here and give you a little bit more of an in-depth instruction on how things work and the basic mechanics of the game. There will be timestamps in the description of this video to go over the specific points that I cover. And you can go down there and check that out once you're done subscribing. What? So let's get it started and learn. Getting started. When you start the game off, you're going to be greeted by Professor Willow. Fun fact, all the professors in the Pokemon world are named after trees or types of trees. Now, Hipster Willow will give you a couple of Pokeballs and he'll send you on your way, and then you can go ahead and start catching Pokemon. How you do that is you take your finger, hold down the Pokeball, and you flick up and you throw it towards the Pokemon to catch it. Now, even in the comforts of your own room, 3 Pokemon will appear right around you, and those are the typical 3, Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur. But wait, there's more! You can walk away and then have the 3 different Pokemon respawn 4 times if you walk further away, like literally walk away, okay? And a Pikachu will appear, and you can have that as your starting Pokemon as well. Keep in mind it's going to be a low CP, which doesn't make sense to you right now. But yeah. But typically the starting Pokemon doesn't really matter, so enjoy it. Yay, you have a Pokemon. Woo! Controlling issues. If you keep missing with the Pokeballs, you're gonna run out. And in order to replenish it, you can either spend real moolah, or you can go to a Pokestop. So, try to find the Pokestop nearest to you. A Pokestop looks like one of these. Pokestops are those floating blue cubes that are around the world. And if you get close enough to one, it's gonna react like that. And it turned into a Pokemon ball shaped thing. Wow. Pokemon ball. Here, all you gotta do is tap it on your screen once it's activated like this, and then swipe to the right, and, well, you'll get items. You'll get potions, berries, eggs, and Pokeballs, the much needed source in this. So it's always nice to find a sweet spot that has a bunch of different Pokestops all around, like this, where I could just sit in that one spot in the center and just collect all day, because the more Pokestops, the more items, and less walking. Even though you have these Pokemon and you're gaining Stardust, do not spend your Stardust to power anything up right now. Not until you're at least level 5. If you're level 5, then you can power it up because you want to jump into the gym battling right away. But it's highly recommended by high level players to wait until at least level 20 to power up your Pokemon. And that, I think, is all you really need to know about getting started. Obtaining Pokemon. Now, during the process of catching a Pokemon, there are several different things on the screen that you can look out for. Firstly, the higher the CP, which stands for combat power, the harder typically it is to catch the specific Pokemon. You can also tell the difficulty of how hard it's going to be to catch this Pokemon by the color of the ring when you hold the Pokeball down. Now, there are 3 different types of Pokeballs to use to capture a Pokemon. There are the Pokeballs, Great Balls, and Ultra Balls. Now, also, there are different ways you can throw the Pokeball to actually increase your chances of catching this Pokemon. There's a small slight increase and flashy way of catching a Pokemon by throwing a curveball. It's where you put your finger on the Pokeball and you spin it around, and you throw it, and it's gonna curve and catch him. You spin it around until it sparkles, and that's how you get the curveball bonus. You can also throw it so well that you get an excellent, great, or a nice throw. Woo! Basically, if you get a word when you throw the Pokeball and it hits the Pokemon, that probably means you did a good throw. And if the word is excellent, that means you did an excellent job. Get it? Right now, I'm probably showing a clip of me failing to catch a Pokemon because I suck. But there's actually 2 ways of obtaining Pokemon. You can either catch them or hatch them. But what does this egg do? Well, typically you take an egg and you put it in the incubator. To put it in the incubator, go to your Pokemon page, then you swipe to the right, and then you're gonna see your eggs there. Hit one of the eggs and then do start incubation and choose one of your incubators. You probably have the basic one, which has infinite uses, or a temporary one that you get from leveling up, which you can only use up to 3 times. Now, once it's in the incubator, you're gonna actually have to physically walk to get it to hatch. So get going. Once you either go 2 kilometers, 5 kilometers, or 10 kilometers, the egg will hatch. Oh, once the egg hatches, boom, you have a new Pokemon. That's why I said hatch him or catch him. Gotta hatch or catch him all. If you're in an area that isn't really getting a lot of Pokemon, you can always use an incense. An incense creates this purple little mist that goes around you that attracts Pokemon to you. Now, when you use an incense and you're with a bunch of friends, you're the only one that's gonna see the incense Pokemon. So keep that in mind. Unless your friend is also using an incense, or you could go to a Pokestop and pop one of your lure modules. If you use a lure module, you just have to go to the Pokestop, hit that little white rectangle at the top middle, and then you can just pop one of your lure modules. Once you do that, it lasts for 30 minutes, just like the incense, and it will attract Pokemon to that location. And usually, more people than Pokemon show up. Now, for the tutorial on using the nearby grid at the bottom right. Keep in mind, everybody has different ideas on how this works right now, and there's nothing really official on how it actually works. So you open it up, you're gonna see a grid of 9 different Pokemon hopefully in the area. If it's full, that means there's a lot of Pokemon nearby. Now, it's said, a lot of people agree on this, that the Pokemon on the top left of the grid is the one closest to you, and the one on the bottom right is the furthest. The number of footprints below the Pokemon show how far away it is. People say that 3 means 300 meters, some people say that 3 means 30 meters, but just know that it's further away than close. So once you see the footprints underneath slowly disappearing, from 3 to 2 to 1 to 0, if it's 0, it's basically under your nose. Tap the screen here and there, do whatever you need to do your dance ritual or whatever, the Pokemon should pop up. Now when the Pokemon is in a silhouetted black shadow, that means you haven't discovered it yet, meaning you haven't registered it in your Pokedex. So catch it, because you're gonna get an extra 500 experience points. Woo! And I believe that's all you really need to know about obtaining Pokemon, so go out there, gotta catch them all. Leveling and Pokemon evolution. In order to level up your trainer in the game, you have to either catch Pokemon, hatch Pokemon, participate in the gym battles, or evolve your Pokemon. And you get a good amount of experience each time you do one of those things. But if you want to speed up the process, you could use one of the items called the Lucky Egg. To obtain a Lucky Egg, you either buy it in the shop or you get it as a reward for leveling up. Pokemon have the assigned combat power, also known as CP, to them once you catch them, which is why I highly recommend that you start catching Pokemon to battle at around level 20. As of everything before, use the Pokemon to level yourself up. You can do this easily by evolving the Pidgeys and the Caterpies quickly to get more experience. Now, how the CP scales is by the arc above the Pokemon once you catch it. If you evolve it, chances are it slightly either doubles, but with everything in respect to the ratio that it's moved on that arc. In order to power up these Pokemon to give them higher CP, you need Stardust. And Stardust you get from either catching Pokemon or holding down a gym. We'll get to that later. So the Pokemon candy refers to the tier 1 type Pokemon only. Basically, if you have an Eevee, you're gonna need Eevee candy to level up that Pokemon or evolve it. So once you evolve that Pokemon, it becomes either a Vaporeon, Jolteon, or a Flareon. So even though you have a Vaporeon, Jolteon, or Flareon, you're still gonna need Eevee candies to power it up. The same thing goes for a tier 3 type Pokemon. So if you have a Weedle, you're gonna need Weedle candy to evolve that into a Kakuna, and then you're gonna need still Weedle candy to evolve that into a Beedrill. And even though you have a Beedrill, it's still gonna need Weedle candy to power it up. But keep in mind, the priority is still to level up your trainer itself, because the higher level the trainer, the higher CP the Pokemon will be in the wild. And I think that's all you need to know about basically leveling up. Gyms and teams. So when you turn level 5, you get to choose a team. Oh man. The 3 leaders of the teams try to sell you the team, but they all have horrible sales pitches. You have Sparky with Instinct, Blanc with Mystic, and Candela with Valor. Now it's up to you for whoever you want to choose, but chances are you're going to want to pick the team that you and your friends all pick together, because that way you can go and attack gyms together. So when you approach a gym, you'll notice it has these discs below it. The more discs there are, or the taller that the gym is, the higher the level is. Now, if your specific team owns the gym, it's going to be the color of your team. Instinct is yellow, Mystic is blue, Valor is red. So if your team owns this one, you can actually drop off your Pokemon by leveling up the gym itself. You'll see if you open the gym menu that there are these numbers on the top left corner. That number indicates its prestige point. So in order to level up, you have to earn enough points to get it past that next number, because that way you're gonna level up the gym to open up a spot for either your Pokemon or somebody else's Pokemon that's on your team. It's a good idea to mix up the types of Pokemon so that somebody can't just come in and take out every single Pokemon that's one single type. And if you own the gym, you can only attack it with one Pokemon. The Pokemon with the highest CP becomes the gym master of that Pokemon, the one displayed at the top when you're walking towards the gym. Now, if an opposing team owns the gym, it's a completely different story. Now you're trying to diminish the amount of prestige points to earn the gym back for yourself and your own team. This time around, you can attack an opposing team's gym with 6 Pokemon. And on top of that, you can attack it simultaneously with your friends around you. So if you have even one other friend, that's 12 Pokemon attacking one, making it pretty easy to take gyms back and away from somebody else. Now once you diminish all the prestige points of the opposing gym, it becomes white, meaning that it's an open gym. Once the gym is blank like this, you can drop off your Pokemon, and hopefully no other people are nearby to drop off their Pokemon, because that leaves it blank for everybody else in the nearby vicinity as well. Once you drop off your Pokemon, it's gonna be one of those tiered Pokemon that they'd have to fight to get to the Gym Master Pokemon, unless your Pokemon is the Gym Master. The rewards for leaving your Pokemon to defend a gym are Pokecoins and Stardust, so it's pretty cool. To collect these rewards, you'd have to go to your shop menu on the top right corner, and there should be a number there for how many Pokemon you have defending at the time. You'll get rewards depending on the number in that shield. But keep in mind, when you press that shield once, it only refreshes after 21 hours. So make sure that that number is really high for when you collect. So how the battling system works is you go into the gym and then you hit go, and once you hit go, you start attacking the gym Pokemon. You tap the screen to do basic attacks. These basic attacks then increase your ability power, which are those blue bars at the top left. Once one of those blue bars is full, you hold down your finger onto the screen to do one of those special abilities. You can also dodge attacks by swiping left or right, especially when you see the other Pokemon winding back up to do something big. You can just keep swiping to dodge the ability. Right here are screenshots of me beating an 1800 Arcanine with the Pidgeot. That's right. So being able to dodge is actually a big deal. There are a lot of people out there that say that what's the point? Just keep tapping. See, that is solid proof that dodging can win a battle. Plus, it helps to have a Pokemon that can attack very fast. So good luck, you Snorlax trainer. And that's the basic mechanics for how the gyms and teams work. Battery saving options. Now, this is a big deal to a lot of people, so I thought I'd add this section into it. There are several different ways to save battery, and the first way to do it is by adding battery. So it also helps to have an external battery, which I've seen a lot of people have already specifically for this game. Or you can have a rechargeable battery case that recharges your phone and works as a case at the same time. The other options are to go into your settings and to turn off the music and turn off sound effects, and when you're trying to capture a Pokemon, turn off the AR or augmented reality so that it saves your battery, because it's not using the camera, not using the music, and not using the sound effects to alert you. You can also turn off vibration, because that also takes a lot of battery, especially if a lot of Pokemon keep showing up nearby you. Now the battery saving option on the app itself. The game needs to be running in order for you to hatch eggs or to catch Pokemon constantly. So you can't close out of it because you're going to lose all progress. And I know you guys really want to hatch those Yoshi egg looking things, but when you have battery saving on, you can actually take your phone, and once you turn it upside down, the screen dims to a very faint Pokemon Go logo. This significantly saves your battery, so it's a great feature to have, and you can put your phone in your pocket knowing that it's still going and your eggs are gonna hatch. And you can check out the scenery, because Pokemon Go really takes you to some beautiful places. There's also this new feature you can have if you have the app Google Maps. Open that app, Google Maps, and go to the offline maps option, and then go to the area that you pretty much hunt the most for Pokemon, and download that map. A lot of Poke trainers have said that this greatly reduces the amount of battery used for the game, so it could work out. I haven't personally tried it myself, but you guys can. Stay safe. Please stay safe out there, guys. I mean, the game has only been out for a couple days, and I've already seen a lot of close calls on the road for people that are trying to catch Pokemon or get Pokestops while they're driving. Don't do it, okay? Riding shotgun now has a new job, and that is to make sure the driver isn't playing Pokemon while they drive and you're doing all the Pokestops for them and catching their Pokemon. In terms of safety, while you guys are walking around, please make sure that you're walking in a safe area, places that you're familiar with, or at least in a group of at least 3, not just 2 people, 3, because there could be big groups out there looking for people like you. So think twice before you go to that lure in the middle of nowhere, alright? And if you think you have to carry a weapon to a specific area, just don't go to that area. Now this game is clearly changing the world, so you guys need to respect people's property and this game by being great citizens of the world. The second this group of gamers, Pokemon goers, gets out of line, they're gonna limit the game and they're gonna ruin it for all of us because some people couldn't handle the responsibility of respecting this planet and the people on it. So please be safe out there and be respectful. Even if you're different teams with other people, they're still playing the same game. You guys still are catching the same Pokemon. So enjoy the game and make it a nice atmosphere for everyone. You can be competitive, but just have fun and show no aggression towards the other teams because that's ridiculous. And if you don't have many friends that play the game, just find a spot populated every time you want to go Pokemon catch. It also helps to have a good community group to just see updates and different things going on in the world. If you live in South Orange County, California, you can join my Facebook group, Pokemon Go South Orange County. There are a lot of rumors out there about how trading is going to be coming soon, which is going to be awesome. So keep an eye out for that, and then I'll also make a tutorial video on that. If you don't even know what Pokemon is, or you have friends that don't know what Pokemon is, I'm going to make a video for that too, and a more advanced video going into the small details. I hope this video helped you guys, and I hope that you at least left with one thing that's new to you about Pokemon Go. If you have somebody just starting out, please direct them to this video because that's why I made it. I want to help out the Pokemon Go community, and I want it to vastly grow because this game has created a lot of cool relationships between complete strangers, and that's monumental. Plus, it's great exercise. Come on. You have to walk 10 kilometers to earn something in a game? Nothing else can get somebody off their lazy. And that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one, stay safe, and have fun. Go catch them all.